Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of your motivational Gen Z and Millennial Expert podcast. I am your host. My name is Dr. Jason Wiggins, and thank you very much for being here. And I appreciate it, and I am grateful to be here as well. So let's get our heads right and get started. I'd like to first start out by asking you something. When was the last time you felt fully rested, not distracted, not just laying in bed scrolling through your favorite social media? I mean, actually rested. Because if you think about it, it's probably been a while. And yet you're still expecting yourself to show up every day to work with focus, energy, discipline, like nothing's wrong. So when you can't, you call yourself lazy. And what if that's not true? What if you're not lazy at all? You're just burnt out. Not one ever taught you how to recognize it. Because being burnt out is something that we don't think about sometimes. We're not like battery operated machines. At some point, we just have to take a break. So today's episode is going to feel a little different. We're going to have less pressure, but more honesty within today's podcast. Because burnout is something almost everyone is experiencing right now in this chaotic, crazy world we live in. But very few people actually recognize it. They don't understand it. So our conversation is going to be real. No hype. We're not just going to push it through advice. We're just going to provide the truth about what burnout is and what you actually need to do about it. So let's start with this. Burnout doesn't always look dramatic. It's not always a breakdown. It's not where you just shut everything off and your mouth just drops and you don't know what to do. It's not always about you quitting everything. Sometimes burnout looks very simple. You wake up tired, even after sleeping a full night's rest. You keep saying, I'll do it later, and later never comes. You feel overwhelmed by small tasks. I mean, this can be a lot of different things, but that's also an insight for burnout. And the worst part, you don't even know why. Because on paper, your life may be great. So that's why we have to recognize burnout. So let's think about the last time you felt burned out, or you felt tired, or you felt like you just weren't as sharp. You could be a master of your craft. You could be great at your art. You could be a professional, whatever you do. But for some reason, you just don't feel like you have what it takes that day, that week, that month, that moment. That doesn't make you lazy. That doesn't make you perfect. It makes you imperfect because we are a flawed and imperfect species, which is okay, which is why if you can recognize burnout at an early age and understand that burnout means that I can refocus, I can re-energize, I can do the things that I need to do and overcome it. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to first realize that I have burnout. I show signs of burnout. I have stress at work. I need to separate and have those boundaries between work and personal life. And you have to be able to cope with them. And as I've talked about in previous episodes, have that self-care, exercise, hobbies, relaxation, meditation, we're talking massages, anything that's going to reflect and get back you into the daily grind, get you focused, get that support from your family and friends, and make sure that you have that outlet to be able to feel good, to get energized, to feel disciplined, do something that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel excited, that really gets you focused on what's important in your life. So let's think about it. As we reflect, we're talking real today. What are you concerned about? Are you concerned about what the world is like right now? Are you concerned about politics? Are you concerned about the living wages, being able to survive? Are you going to be able to keep the house over your head? Are you going to be able to keep your job? Are things going to turn within the world with the economies and the stock market and all of that stuff? I mean, those are key things that everyone is focused on. What's the price of gas? What's the price of our groceries? These things just go up, 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 up. But what doesn't usually go up? Our wages. We don't get increases. They don't say, well, you know what? things have gone up by 10% in the last month, I'm going to give you a 10% raise. No, it doesn't happen. So what do you got to do on your end? You've got to be able to find an outlet to relax, to get through that, to focus on the greater things in life. Because when you wake up tired, when you don't get the right sleep, and you keep saying, I'll do it later, I'll focus on it then, you begin to break down. And that's why it's so important to be able to focus on the finer things, the greater things, the things that make you happy, have goals, have insights, write them down. Those are the things that are going to get you to the next level. You want to be able to recognize what that burnout is and realize that this is just a momentary lapse. I'm not lazy. This doesn't signify who I am. This is not my signature on my name. My signature on my name is my continued growth, my continuous learning, my abilities to want more, to grow with a company, to aspire to do great things, career, family, personally, being a spouse, being a boss, being a leader, whatever it may be. But you know what? Let's think about that internal dialogue for a moment. That dialogue that really is that voice inside us. So our internal dialogue probably sounds a little something like this. I need to get my life together. Have you ever heard that? Why can't I just focus? Other people are doing more than me. Look at social media. You'll hear all the insights by everyone. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. My life is great. Look at me at this place. Look at my family. Look at me smiling. Look at my career. Look at all these things that really make me great. Well, guess what? We all do that. We all socialize our successes and achievements on social media. And the other people, it causes angst and turmoil when they read it, because guess what? Maybe at that time in their life, they're not super happy. They're not super fired up. So that's why we share these things, because it helps uplift us. But that's where the social media, the anxiety and all that comes from. But we could go into that topic for a different day. But the important thing is when you are so hard on yourself, when you focus on the negativity of your life and you think, I'm no good, I need to fix it, I need to fix me, I need to be better. It's okay to have goals. It's okay to set a standard of what you want to achieve. You want to focus on, you want to hone your craft, you want to be successful, you want to take all of these steps, you want to eat right, you want to sleep right, you want to exercise, you want to focus on what's important. And that means staying away from the things that are unproductive, the people that make you feel unproductive. You want to keep those mentors, those support groups, those people that really challenge you and make you successful within whatever you continue to do. But you got to make a plan. You have to tell yourself, tomorrow is going to be different. Tomorrow is going to provide me the outlet that's going to be a conduit to the greater things that I'm going to be able to do, because people aren't doing just more than you. Everybody's not doing more than you. It's about the perception. Perception's reality in a lot of cases, but your perception is your book, your story, the one that you get to write each and every single day. And nobody has a better story than you and myself when I read my own story and write my own story. We write our own book every single day. It's a book that changes us daily. We flip that script every single day. The more you reflect on the positive of what you're doing in life, the successes, the achievements, and realize if you had a bad day, it's okay. It's okay. It's more than okay. It's now the time to flip the page, and tomorrow will be different. When tomorrow comes, you'll feel that you should strive to continue to do things that are better. But if tomorrow comes and you feel the same, now it's not just burnout, it's frustration. Now you're not just tired, you're questioning yourself, you're questioning your abilities, you're questioning, why am I not as good as I am? Did I not get enough training? Did I not do the things I needed to do in life? Where did I misstep? How come somebody else is doing better things than I am? Trust me, I've had those same conversations as well. Even though I have a PhD in managerial leadership, a doctoral degree, I've spoke, I wrote a book. I've done all these different things that have helped improve my status. But guess what? I'm just like you. I'm never really happy. Because why? Because I know there's so much more that I can accomplish. But don't be so hard on yourself. Enjoy the moments. Feel satisfied. Being satisfied is good as long as it's not continual. Continual satisfaction means that you stop achieving. It means that you are not as hungry as you used to be. You don't want what you want anymore because you've been satisfied. It's okay to be satisfied momentarily. Feel good about what you do. But guess what? It's like a sports team. They win the championship one year, and the next year they're defending champions. But what happens? They stop putting the effort in. They stop putting the work. They stop putting the training. They stop dedicating to their craft. And what happens? They find out they're not as good. So that's why I have had to learn not to be so hard on myself. Yes, I have a PhD. Yes, I wrote a book. Yes, I gave speeches. And I felt like I've done a lot of great things to help other people. But should I feel satisfied momentarily? Yes. But should I let it dictate what I do moving forward? Absolutely not. Now, the truth about burnout is very simple. This is the truth most people don't say clearly enough. Burnout is what happens when you've been running on pressure too long without real recovery. Pressures don't just come from work or school. It comes from internal expectations, comparisons of social media, feeling like you always need to be doing more. I just mentioned that. It's about wanting more and not being grateful for what you've done. I realized I've had a great opportunity to do a lot of things, and I felt good about many of them I've done, but I can't rest on those laurels. And I don't expect any of you to as well. Be thankful, be grateful. Feel like you've accomplished something, but don't let that be your end story. Feel like you always need to be doing more. That's part of the issue of the pressure you put on yourself. So even when you're resting, your mind is not. You're thinking about what you should be doing, what you've done, what you're falling behind on. That's not rest. That's mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion is a lapse in your mind capacity where you can't do anymore. And that's why as leaders, as employees, those that are Gen Z and Millennials and Generation X and Baby Boomers and now Generation Alpha and Beta and all those that are coming, they're going to feel the same sort of mental exhaustion. Why? Because life is only going to get tougher, but we have to take control of our own life. We have to manage our life. We have to script it in a way where we understand that this is the script that we're dealt, but it's not the end story. We can rewrite it each and every single day. It gives us the opportunity to explore opportunities to achieve and to be great at whatever we want. That's why life is so promising. That's why life is so fantastic. And that's why life gives us a platform for continual success, challenges, obstacles, all of those great things that we are part of being in the life. This is life. And guess what? We are all here for a reason. And when you find a reason, your truth, what is your truth? What is your reason? Think about that right now. What is your truth? Who are you? You ever just sit back there before burnout stage, of course, and just think, who am I? What am I going to be? And I think that's something we should ask ourselves, regardless of what age we are. Who are we and what are we going to be? I see 60 and 70-year-olds that are accomplishing and achieving their PhD and looking for new career opportunities. Just because they're a little long in the tooth, they've aged a little bit, doesn't stop them from being proactive to find who they are, their inner truth, and what they really are capable of. We don't just die, as we continue to learn. The only time we die is when we stop learning, when we stop thinking about how can we be better, how can we improve. So right now, if you're at that burnout stage, take a moment for yourself. Take that self-care moment. Go do something that's just all about you. And when you focus on you, that burnout will go away. If you've got so many things going on your plate right now, get help. Ask for help. Talk to a family member. Talk to a friend. If you are overwhelmed and you can't do everything yourself, talk to those people around you to help you get where you need to be. And that's where you have to shift your approach. So what do you actually do when it comes to burnout? Stop being so darn hard on yourself. Stop attacking yourself, because you cannot fix burnout with self-criticism. It just adds more pressure to an already overwhelming system. Your body is on overload. Your mind is about to blow. You're mind blown because you have so many things going on. The world is running at 100 miles an hour. And with burnout, you're running at 20 miles an hour. The world is going around you 5 times. Why? Because You are tired. You're focused on trying to get so much done, but at some point we have to realize, I gotta stop. I gotta self-reflect for a moment, because burnout is not about being lazy. Burnout is about realizing you've hit the wall. Like the wall you see in this, if you're watching the YouTube video, it's like banging your head up against a brick wall when you are burnout. So again, you have to simplify everything. So first, you stop attacking yourself. Second, you simplify everything. So instead of trying to fix your whole life overnight, focus on one or two things that make you happy, that will help strategize and separate and segment these issues that you are having. Try to focus on one or two things, like lower the intensity of the problem, compartmentalize it to where it doesn't seem so daunting and overloading. And then second is keep the consistency. Find patterns of your life that are going to help you strive to achieve something that doesn't have to be so much continued pressure. And third, give yourself permission to recover. You not earn rest, not to justify it, but just to take the rest when you need it. Because recovery is not a reward. It's a requirement. It's a requirement to get yourself going, to make sure that you are ready for the next task. So when we ask what your truth is, what you want, what you desire, what are your goals, what are your dreams, these are things that you can always focus on. It doesn't mean you have to attack it overnight, tomorrow, the next day. It could be a 90-day plan. It could be a 6-month plan. It could be a 1-year plan. Or there could be a bunch of tools in your tool chest that you still have to get. You have to train for, you have to learn, you have to do. So maybe you want to be a speaker and you feel like you don't have the accolades to do it, or you don't have the background to do it, or you don't have the practice to do it. Well, get the background, get the practice, get the accolades. And how do you do that? You strategize. You put a list together and you go, this is my moment. This is my truth. This is what I am going to do to make my life better, to improve it, to captivate my audience, to write that book around my life where I flip that script each and every day. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Continue to focus on being the best version of yourself. When you can focus on being the best version of yourself, you are going to be able to inform your audience of what you want. You're going to be focused on the key points to success and learning about who you are as an individual. So when you put all this together, it becomes clear. When what you are experiencing is not laziness. You are dealing with a lack of recovery, an overloaded mind, a reward system that has been overstimulated, and internal conflict between who you want to be and what you currently need. This is a complex situation, and it requires a different response. The situation is not to push harder or criticize yourself more. The solution is rebalance. That means creating space for real recovery, reducing unnecessary mental noise, and allowing yourself to reset without guilt. Because once your systems begin to recover, your energy, your focus, your consistency start to return naturally. So if you have been feeling stuck, or you're frustrated with yourself and you feel like you've been lazy, but you're not, remember, it's about burnout. Take this as a reminder that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not failing. You are responding to an environment and a pace that has been much too long. At the moment, you start working with yourself instead of against yourself. Begin to change. Begin to reflect. Begin to look at what the better you can be. The better you are, the better version of yourself, the more sleep you get, the more exercise, the more you take care of yourself. That is going to help you continue to grow. So I want to thank everyone today for your continued listenership. I hope you can share this with your family and friends. I hope you realize that burnout is only a momentary lapse. It's not going to identify you. Make sure you symbolize it. Make sure you're ready for the next step. Turn the page and be ready to continue to be motivated and strive for more. You are great. You're going to be great, and you're going to continue to be great. But take that moment to take care of yourself. So again, I want to thank everyone. Take care, and please continue to listen, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.